Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My dear students, I strongly hope you all are well at home, and you are not afraid of COVID-19, but you all are very much aware, very much conscious of. So, dear students, in my previous classes, I told you some techniques and hints on the close test with clues and without clues. You know, just my target is not to teach you, just my target is to give you some techniques and hints on some questions of your schemes. So, dear students, close test with clues and without clues, they were question number 1 and question number 2. Today, I am going to discuss with you substitution table. This is question number 3 for the class 9 and the 10 and who at the SSC examinees their question. This is their question number 3, and I know this question is very much easy for every student, most of the student. I know you have no complaint, you have no hardship, you have no difficulties in these questions. But to maintain the serial, just I have taken these decisions to tell you something, some techniques, some hints on substitution table. Though most of you have no problems, I know it. But some students, they have made some unexpected mistakes in the examination hall. So, why they have made these unexpected mistakes? And sometimes many of you ask a simple question, same questions, sir, whether the sentences of the substitution table should be rearranged. That means, have we to maintain the sequence when we write down the sentence? Dear students, the answer is very simple. The answer is no. To maintain sequence, writing in rearranged way is not mandatory in this question. But two things is mandatory. Your sentence must be contextual and your sentence must be grammatically accurate. So, how we can write this sentence by keeping these two formula? And again, I am going to your question. Have you to maintain the sequence of the sentences? No, I told you this is not mandatory. But if you can write down the sentence one after another in the sequent way, because this is a context, so then your answer will look very much beautiful. But this is not mandatory for anybody. So, dear students, let us go to the techniques. So, I am repeatedly tell you from the very beginning of my classes, my target is not to teach you, my target is to give you some techniques so that in the exam hall you will feel no hesitation, no confusion. So, dear student, today just I will give you 4 techniques, and if you use these 4 techniques when you will write the answer of substitution table in the examination hall, I hope your mistakes or the unexpected mistakes you have made in the exam hall, they will be minimized. So, thank you, dear students. So, number 1, I have written here, choose an extension from the right end box and match a verb and a subject with it. So, dear students, you know, I have drawn the picture. This is a question of substitution table. I will show you the real question after finishing this. So, just this is, we have 3 box, 1, 2 and 3. This is the subject box, and here you get verbs, and here you get extension. Extension. So, dear students, you know, all the questions of class 9 and 10, all the grammar items are contextual. So, this is also a context. So, what I told you that choose an extension from the right hand box That means this is extension box 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 extension here, and then match a verb and a subject with it. That means what I am trying to tell you, that means these are the extension here in the box are given. So if I read the extension first, then I will get a pre-idea. I will get an idea about the context, about the story, what is written here. So if I choose the first sentence by reading the extension from the extension, and then if I choose, suppose I have choose the extension from here, that means I have taken decisions to write down this is the first, and then with this extension I will come to the verb. I know in the box there are some verbs, so with the very beginning words of the extension, if I try to connect the verbs given here, then it will be easy for me to match the verbs with the first word of the extension and with the verbs, and then I will come to the subject. Suppose here we have many subjects, he and the teacher, like this, there are some subjects. So if I take first the extension, then if I take the verbs first, if I match the verbs with this extension and with this verb, it will be very much easy for me to match the subjects. So this is a technique, dear students. Then you may write the contextual sentences. At that time, if you would like to maintain the sequence, maintain the rearrange, maintain the coherence of the sentences, then it is possible for you to maintain it. Though it is not mandatory, I told you the very beginning. So dear student, technique number 1, I told you that I will choose an extension first, then I will match a verb with it, and then subject. This is technique number 1. So dear student, now number 2, use the nominal subject first, then pronominal subject. Meaning, I have written here, this is a subject and the teachers. Perhaps I am going to write I am going to write here the they, and here I have a subject, the boys. So dear students, when I will make a sentence by using this table, my target will be in the box. I know he, this a pronoun, the teacher is a nominal subject, this is pronominal subject. They pronominal subject, the boys nominal subject. My techniques will be I will use the nominal subject first, because when I will make the sentences, then the teacher I will first in the the first sentence I will use teacher, then I will use he, and then I will use the boys, then I will use they. So this is the technique number 2, dear students. I know this is very much easy. I have no need to give you any techniques, but sometimes these techniques may be useful. So dear student, one thing I would like to tell you, the subjects, the topics which is very easy, sometimes we ignore it, we don't give importance. As a result, what happens? When we go to the exam hall, as in the previous times, we didn't give any importance here, because I think this is very much easy. We make some unexpected mistakes in the exam hall. So dear students, the questions is easy, but the number is not less than other topics. So I know it carries 5 marks, the other grammatical items carries 5 marks, so I have no need to ignore this chapter. I must have to give the equal importance like the other items what we answer in the exam hall. So dear students, 2 techniques I told you. Number 1, I will choose an extension first, then verbs, and then subject. Number 2, I will choose nominal subject first and then pronominal subject, while I will make sentences by using this substitution table. So dear student, now number 3, keep the subject verb agreement accurate. So dear students, at the very beginning I told you that there are two mandatory conditions when you will make sentence by using this substitution table. Number one, your sentence must be grammatically accurate and your sentence must be contextual. So when I will match verbs and subject with this extension, I must have to remember that I must have to maintain the grammatical sequence here. What at the subject verb agreement you have read it in the right form of verbs. So you must have to keep the subject and verb agreement grammatically, otherwise your sentence will not be right. So dear students, now the number 4 and the last number techniques, and as this topics is very much easy, dear student, so one lecture will be enough. So today we will finish it. We have started today and we will finish it today. So we will have no need to other lectures on it. Just follow me. So last number techniques, don't write anti-contextual sentence. Don't write anti-contextual sentences. I should have write here. I don't write any anti-contextual sentences. So dear students, you may have some questions, sir, what is the techniques? I can't understand, but this is very easy to understand. When I will show you the real question here, then I hope you can understand. Just remember the techniques that I have written here. Don't write any contextual sentences. You can break the sequences of the sentences. Your sentence break the sequences, but your sentence must be contextual. If you write any anti-contextual sentence, but if your sentence is grammatically accurate, then you will not get number. So in these techniques, you must have to be remember what is the techniques. I will show you in real questions. I have a questions I will show you. So dear students, here, so what I have told you, I have told just 4 techniques. Number 1, when I will make sentences from the substitution tables, I will start from the extension first. I will choose extension, then I will match a verb and a subject with this extension, and I will write down the sentence. Number 2, I told you we will use the nominal subject from the subject box first, and then I will use the pronominal subject. Then my sentence will be nice one, and the answer, all the sentences together, it will nice very good one. And number 3, I told you, keep the subject verb agreements accurate grammatically. And number 4, don't write any anti-contextual sentences. Anti-contextual sentences, you are not allowed to write this. If you write any anti-contextual sentence, but the sentence is grammatically right, but you will not get numbers. So what is anti-contextual sentence, dear students? Now I will show you. Please give me 1 second, just I will hang the sentence. Question here. So dear students, we are going to see a real questions, and I will told you the technique number 4. That means I told you that you cannot write anti-contextual sentences. What is anti-contextual sentences? We will try to understand from here. So dear students, so just we have to look at the questions, dear students. This is the language of the questions. Make 5 sentences using parts of sentences from each column of the table below. So I have given you 4 techniques only. That means I told you that I will select a extension from here because there is a story, it is a context. In the context there is a story. So if I read this extension, then I will get a clear idea what the story is described here. So if I read in this way, then I can understand, oh yes, an old farmer who had, so I can understand, so if I use this extension first, it will be very much easy, and then I will match a verb. So lived and, then I can match here, and I know they are lived, it may be. So here I have written, there lived an old farmer who had 3 sons, bad in nature. So I have made these sentences here. Now the sons bad in nature, then I can understand, oh, then quarrel always, because they are bad, so it may be quarrel. So here I have write the used to, quarrel means that then I can use used to. Used to means here we have a indication of sons, then I can use the subject, right. So then I will write down the sentence in the answer sheet. The sons used to quarrel always. Then used to quarrel always, then the old farmer will do, he will advise his sons. So then I can choose this extension and advise, and then I can use this. So the farmer advised his sons not to quarrel and to be united. To be united, then we get a hit. Here did not, but they. So I have used the son, this is the nominal subject, dear student, first. Now I am going to use the pronominal subjects of the sons. Then, but they did not pay heed to their father's advice. And now, then the last one, the one day he, meaning this is the pronominal subject of the farmer. I have used it first. Now I am going to use the nominal subject, pronominal subject of the farmer. So one day he wanted to teach them a lesson about the importance of unity. Okay, dear students, I know this is very much easy for you, but from these questions I am going to give you one techniques. I told you that that if you cannot understand that why I cannot write anti-contextual sentence and what is anti-contextual sentence. So dear student, now I will give you these examples and we will finish for today. So dear student, here just look one thing. Here I told you a sentence, the sons used to quarrel always. The sons used to quarrel always. So here just look at the sons, it is a subject, used to verb and quarrel, this is here another extension. So now the sons, this is subject, used to quarrel always, this is a sentence. Now I am going to write a sentence, the old man, sorry, the farmer, no old man, the farmer used to quarrel always. So dear students, the farmer used to quarrel always. Here the farmer is the subject and used to verb, and there is no grammatical mistake here. There is no subject verb, there is no lacking in subject verb agreement. So what will happen? If I write down this sentence in this context, my sentence will not be right, dear students, in the exam hall. You will not get number here. But one thing, so this sentence should be, this is there lived an old farmer who had 3 sons bad in nature. I have written it in number 1 sequence. I have tried to maintain the sequence, but you have written this sentence in the number 3. So dear student, don't worry, don't be worried, you will have no problem, you will get number in the exam hall. But if you write a sentence, the old man used to quarrel always, though your sentence will be grammatically right, but you will not get number, because the context is telling that the farmer didn't quarrel, but his sons used to quarrel, and he tried to advise them by, he tried to give them a teaching. So if you write a sentence, the farmer used to quarrel always, so what will happen? Your sentence will be anti-contextual sentence. So in that situation, you will not get number in the exam hall if you write this type of sentence. This is called anti-contextual sentence. So dear students, I hope you have understood what I would like to tell you. So dear students, how much time I have lost, I don't know. So dear students, so this was my today's target, to give you only 4 techniques to write down the sentences by using substitution tables very successfully in the exam hall. So just try to remember the 4 techniques only I gave you. Please, if you can please take down these 4 techniques and remember, and you will practice at home. This type of questions are available in your practice books. So if you now practice at home, I think it will be very much easy, though it is still easy for you, and it will be easy, it will remain easy. Every time it will be easy for you, I hope always. But just as a teacher, I have tried to give you 4 techniques. Remember them and practice them, and I hope you all will do better in the exam. I strongly believe to the Almighty Creator. So dear students, in my next class, I will come to you with a very difficult subject. I know you have hundreds and thousands of problems on right form of verbs. This is in your question number 4, and in my next class, I will come to you with the right form of verbs, the problems and with the problems and with the solutions. And perhaps my class will be held in the coming Sunday. So until then, stay home, be safe, and please pray for me. Pray for me to the Almighty Allah. I always pray for you all, my dear students, to the Almighty Allah, so that He may keep us safe and sound from any dangers. Until then, Khuda Hafiz. Thank you very much.